Hello, it's the 11th of June and this is Renew Every Morning. I'm Paul Anderson-Walsh and as ever I'm so pleased that you're with me. So thank you so much for taking a few minutes out of your day for us to do a renewing. So well done. We've got a brilliant verse today from the book of Psalms, Psalm 18 and verse 2. And I've got to tell you, this is a psalm from someone who's done the hard yards. Let me just read this to you because it's really lovely. Because do you know, it's when you've lived through storms that you can begin to really testify to God's strength. We saw that a couple of days ago. If you remember, I was reading you from Hind's feet on high places, and that notion of suffering and that being the teacher, I think, is such an important concept. Now, this is written by David, and David didn't write this on the best day of his life, by the way. In fact, many of the best days of David's life weren't in leisure, they weren't in the palaces, they weren't at ease, they were actually as a fugitive, as somebody on the run. And it was really interesting what he learns there. They're in the Adullam, those places where he learns so many different things. But he wrote this particular psalm after being rescued, after battles, after the fear, after the chase. And he catches his breath, and this is what he writes. He says this, listen to the verse, it's such a sweet verse. The Lord is my rock, my fortress, and my deliverer. Our theme is strength and courage this month, isn't it? And here it is right for us, right there. The Lord is my rock. By the way, the Lord is the rock. It's worth saying that as well. He's my fortress and he's my deliverer. God is my rock. He, the one in whom I take refuge, my shield and the horn of my salvation and my stronghold. My goodness me, does David ever stack it up for us there? Look at what he says. It's sevenfold ways of describing God. Listen to this. They're so powerful. The Lord is number one, he's my rock. Number two, he's my fortress. Number three, he's my deliverer. Number four, he's my refuge. Number five, he's my shield. Number six, he's my horn of my salvation. Number seven, he's my shield. Did you get that? Did I miss anything David's saying? This is how it is. And this number seven, as you'll very well know, is the number of completeness. It's the number of wholeness. And he's saying, he is wholly able to save me. He will, says Hebrews, deliver me to the uttermost. The uttermost. He is able to save me to the uppermost. And David's saying, listen, I am locating myself within this sevenfold protection and wisdom of God. And this sevenfold list reminds me of something. It kind of has echoes in my mind about the armour of God in Ephesians chapter 6. Now, it doesn't map exactly, but it is really interesting because Paul says in Ephesians 6, be strong in the Lord in his mighty power and put on the full armour of God, he said. Now, the imagery isn't quite the same, but the reality is the same. David's language is very much about a testimonial that's born on a battlefield, whereas Paul's language is very much more instructional, written for a church that's under siege, but both are saying the same thing. They're both saying, you're not unarmed, you're not unprotected, and you certainly are not alone. So let's look at some of the words that David uses. Because they're really very interesting. He says, first and foremost, that the Lord is my rock. And this is the idea here of a cleft, of a refuge, of a foundation that's just unshakable. Do you remember Elijah's hidden in the cleft of the rock? And that's very, very significant for us. He's a fortress. This talks about a high military defense. This place is an elevated place of safety. No one's getting there. You're not going to be able to penetrate that place. That can't be invaded, raided, upside down, ransacked. That can't happen. And he's the deliverer. He's the one, the palat, the word is here. He's the one who causes us to escape, enables us to escape when there's no way out. Think of the time in scriptures of the idea of what Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego all sat there, the Hebrew boys in the fire, and then suddenly there is this revelation. There's a fourth man in the fire. Daniel's sitting in a lion's den. How is that even possible that he's not devoured? Peter being able just to walk out of a prison through the walls. And it's just like, what? This stuff is extraordinary. He's my refuge. He's my kahash. And here is the idea is the place I flee to, the place I can run to. But this is about relational protection. He's my shield, my magen. This is my defense, my favor, the kind of shield that you stand behind, not carry. You don't carry the shield. It shields you. You stand behind it. And he's the horn of my salvation. This is a lovely idea. This is about victory and messianic hope. And it's all rooted in the name Yeshua. And he's my stronghold. So look, this stuff is just crazy, because he's saying you're unreachable by your enemies, right? Now, David's not just giving us theology of protection, if you like. He's giving you a testimony of what it is to be in love, to walk with Christ. He's saying, God is where I stand. He's my rock. God is where I hide. He's my fortress. God is who saves me. He's my deliverer. God is the one who holds me. He's my refuge. God is the one who surrounds me. He's my shield. God is the one who empowers me. He's my horn. God is the one who lifts me. He's my stronghold. And it's the language of lived experience. And until you go, you just don't know. And that's the simple truth of it. And if we were paralleling it with Ephesians 6, which I'm wanting to do, where David says shield, Paul says shield of faith. Where David says salvation, Paul says helmet of salvation. Where David says stronghold, Paul says stand firm, fully covered. So put simply, Psalm 18 is about shelter, whereas Ephesians 6 is about strategy. So they have a different notion here. You don't wear the armour of God to become strong. You remember who your strength is. That's the point of it. So today's renewing thought is a very simple one. When life presses in, and it does and can, declare who God is. Say it with your whole full-throated chest-outness. He's my rock. He's my refuge. He's my shield. He is my strength. And you're never going to fight alone, because you're covered. You're held. You're in the grip of grace. And that's what it means to trust God with your whole life. Not just because he's your rescue, but also because he's your refuge. So be encouraged in that, and may you be renewed in that. And again, if these are of any help to you, follow, like, subscribe, tag, share with people, because it would be great if more of us are just walking out in our freedom. Listen, thank you for being with us, and I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. All right, God bless you. Bye-bye.